Good morning, this is Adrienne Rice, Marketing Communications Manager here at Cornell-Cookson. Thank you all for joining us for the Extreme 300 Series Performance Door Training. Just a housekeeping item before we get started. We ask that you make note of any questions you may have during the presentation. You can submit questions during the presentation using the question portal. Once the presentation is complete, we will respond to all questions. If we don't have time for all questions, we'll respond via email. And a copy of this or a recording of this presentation will be available on the Dealer Resource Center for future reference. So let's get started. What is this Extreme 300 Series Performance Door? So if you get nothing else out of this training, we want you to remember these two things. 300,000 cycles with intelligent controls. Those are the two key takeaways that we want you to come out with this presentation, and we'll be talking about them throughout. But first, a little bit of background on why we developed this product. So we looked at the market and we thought that the 300,000 cycle really fit a nice niche in the high cycle market at a really nice price point. So we wanted to have something that was in that mid-range of price point as well. We wanted to reduce the headroom requirement from our previous high cycle offering so that the door could fit in some smaller spaces. And we wanted to have more control over our panel for operation here. So the Apex Smart Controller, that's that intelligent controls that I talked about in the beginning, it's our own, so that we have a lot of design flexibility about how that functions and how that looks and how you interact with it, as well as enhanced quality control. And then finally, we wanted to create a high cycle option that really was a standard door installation with a couple of additional bells and whistles. So we wanted some plug-and-play connections for electrical. We wanted the commissioning to be really simple and with electronically set limits. And we wanted to have factory-mounted rather than field-mounted safety devices as standard. And then a little bit about how we developed. So this product's been in research and development for about 3 years. There's actually more than a dozen test units in the field. The oldest test units have been up and in operation for almost a year. So functioning daily and giving us feedback. And so this enhanced test program really allows us to make improvements for the installation experience and instructions, how things are phrased. Most of the test units have everything, the components are the same, but we've just sort of tweaked the controller or tweaked something in the installation guide, stuff like that, to really optimize the experience upon launch. So the unique features of the 300 series door, 300,000 maintenance-free cycles. Now we're saying maintenance-free, but that's outside of the standard daily checks to make sure that it's still operable. No springs to replace, it's a springless design, no things that are going to wear out before that 300,000 cycles. So no planned maintenance that really would cause any downtime for the door. So if you have something that requires a lot of uptime and they have an application where they don't really want to do a lot of maintenance on the door, this is a really nice option. And then we have that new Apex Smart Controller. That's those intelligent controls. So 300,000 cycles, intelligent controls. There will be a quiz at the end. So a little bit more about our Apex Smart Controller. So as I said, first intelligent control panel. A couple of the unique features here, the connections between the motor, control panel, and standard sensors are all plug and play. You really can't plug the wrong one into the wrong thing. It's very simple, so that it improves that accuracy when you're installing the door, which will then help to reduce installation time. And it features a LCD screen that walks a user through step-by-step instructions for a lot of different things. So the first thing is commissioning the door when you first set it up. It's something that I actually got thrown into cold. I had never seen the door before. I'd never seen the installation instructions, and I was they used me as a bit of a guinea pig to see if a marketing person could commission the door, and I could. I was able to do it, and it was very, very simple. Walks you through step by step. Electrically sets your limits. One of the other nice features about it is that it actually auto-corrects phasing. So if when you have the door, when you install it, if down is up and up is down, the Apex Smart Controller will be able to see that and be able to adjust it without having to rewire anything or redo anything. So that's a nice little added benefit there for phasing. It also throws status and error messages with options to adjust or correct. So let's say you are operating the door and you're expecting it to close, and all of a sudden it stops its downward travel and returns to the open position. You can look at the LCD screen. It'll throw an entrapment code, and you'll know that something activated the light curtain or photo eye and made the door go back up. It also has many common door adjustments in the menu, and you can make a lot of different adjustments. These are things like timer to close. So after you open it, you want it to close, start closing 10 seconds after someone goes through. Things like that. Very simple, using just the up, down, left, right, and OK buttons that you can see there on the screen to go through a lot of those areas. The 300 series door is also compatible with many different activation devices. We have a couple of the most popular ones here for illustrative purposes. Really, the thing that you want to stress when you're talking with someone, the 300 series door goes up to 24 inches per second on open. That is not the fastest in the market in terms of a closure. However, if you have the right activation device placed in the right area, you can really have a seamless experience for someone going through your door. So you have the motion sensor that activates the door to come up. You can have someone kind of cruising through there to maintain that productivity that users are looking for. So that's something that we're really encouraging, as you're going out in the market and talking about this. The placement of the activation devices is sometimes even more important than the high speed that the 300 series offers. The operator is a compact direct drive, so that means that there's no roller chains and sprockets to get tangled up in or to break. Has a lower headroom requirement. There's an internal brake there. And it's IP54 rated. It's a European rating. That's equivalent to a NEMA 3 or 3S, which you might be a little bit more familiar with. So that's dust and splashing water resistance. We do recommend that if you have an exterior mounted 300 series door that you do add a motor cover to this operator. And the operator comes in 1, 2, and 3 1/3 horsepower. The size availability for the 300 series door is in the service curtain. The maximum size is 24 feet wide by 16 feet high. And in the insulated model, it's 20 feet wide by 14 feet high. A couple of things to note that we really wanted to bring out. We recommend that you mount the panel with the control buttons at least 5 feet above the floor. You need to make sure that the wire that's between the operator and the control panel is no longer than 20 feet. 20 feet will come as standard, but to maintain warranty, we're asking that you keep that at 20 feet. If you need longer than 20 feet, a couple of things. When you're ordering the door, WebGen will actually prompt you to say, hey, do you need more than 20 feet of cabling between the operator and the panel? If so, let us know. And then we can either supply additional cabling or specify. If we supply or specify the cabling to make that a longer run, then your warranty is maintained. If you just add stuff on, it will void the warranty. So we wanted to be very clear about that, and you'll have prompts in WebGen to remind you of that as well. This door is best suited for face-of-wall construction. Just sort of the way the operator gets mounted onto the door, you'll lose some opening space if you do a between jambs mount. We can do it if that's what you really need, but you will lose about a foot of opening there. So we don't see that being a very popular option for this. And standard lead times do apply. So for service and insulated, this is not an extended lead time product. It's what standard service doors and insulated doors, whatever they're going at, this door should be as well. A couple of the built-in safety features here. So you have a factory-mounted 3 or 6 foot tall light curtain in photo eye. You can see there that it's already mounted onto a piece of angle, and that snaps right onto the guides. Just a couple bolts will get it on there, and it kind of protects the safety features there, providing that large zone of contact-free protection. The other safety sort of feature that's built in, it has a soft start and soft stop for speed of door opening and closing. So it's factory set at 15% on the top and the bottom of the opening. So when you go to open the door, it will be slow for the first 15%. It'll really rip for the middle 70%, and then again slow for the last 15%. If you want to improve opening times of your door, you can adjust that ramp percentage. We recommend around 7 to 10% as a really nice, what we see is it really works for most sizes of the door. But really you want to play around with it until you don't have a middle speed. So you're either going slow or you're going fast. You aren't going slow and then medium and then fast. So that's really what we recommend, kind of playing with that based on your configuration. But that soft start and soft start really does ensure safety, and it also reduces wear and tear on the door and the operator there. So the guides do come with UHMW anti-wear strips in both the guides and the bell mouth. There's always going to be a strip on the outer angle. If you have an end-lock door, there will be a strip on the inner angle. And if you have a wind-lock door, there will be a UHMW block on the inner angle. So our curtain and finishes. So it comes in a service curtain or a Thermizer Max insulated curtain. We're really excited about this. The Thermizer Max is coming as standard on all insulated 300 series doors. This means that this will not only be a high performance product, it will actually, with the Thermizer Max package, will be the most energy efficient rolling steel high performance product on the market today. So we're really anticipating a lot of interest in the market, and we anticipate you'll do very well with that particular model there. Comes in galvanized or stainless steel. The standard powder coating will be Cycle Shield, so a high cycle powder coating as standard in gray, tan, or white. You can do custom powder coat in that Cycle Shield for additional lead time and cost, or you can go to a Spectra Shield powder coating in 180 RAL colors or custom, or the Galvanex baked enamel coating is also available. You can do vision windows, fenestration options. And one thing we did want to point out about this particular curtain is that it is not wrapped on the shaft upon delivery. That's the difference between this door and the 1024 product that you're familiar with. And it does come with a standard wind load of 20 PSF Ultimate. I just want to talk a little bit about the bottom bar flag. So this actually has a couple of different features. So when the door is closing, it deactivates the top beams of the light curtain while maintaining the bottom beams activation. So it maintains that safety throughout operation. So if you stick your hand in while it's coming down, it's not like it's turned off the entire light curtain. In addition, the bottom bar flag is crucial for when you're first commissioning the door. The bottom bar flag reaching the low photo eye is something that helps with setting those limits. So please don't try to commission the door without installing the bottom bar flag. It's very important. So we know that you're familiar with our 10-4 1 million cycle door, and you might be wondering what are the differences and why would I want a 300 versus the 10-4. So we wanted to kind of highlight the similarities and differences of both of these products, so you can kind of have a nice cheat sheet as you're looking at what might best fit for an opening that you've got going on. So these are the similarities. We have the durable guides with the UHMW anti-wear strip. They're both springless. You've got some surface or insulated curtain options, although the 300 series will come with Thermizer Max as standard. Speed, you have the powder coating, things like that. So safety devices and activation, very similar in those areas. But the differences here, we've got cycle life. We have that 300,000 versus 1 million. We've got that intelligent controller. We keep coming back to the 300,000 cycles. The intelligent controller, those are the first two. Those are the big things. We have that compact direct drive operator on the 300. Electronic versus mechanical limits. We've got some plug-and-play electrical on the 300, whereas you have standard electrical on the 10-4. We talked a little bit about the wrapped on the shaft and versus not, but there is no coil box either on the 300. There is a coil box on the 10-4. Yeah, factory versus field-mounted safety devices there. There's a 2-year warranty on the 300,000 on the 300 series door versus a 5-year on the 10-4. Something to note. And the list price is approximately half of the 10-4 with the 300. We'll get into that a little bit more, comparisons in the market. Applications, as I said, anywhere that really needs a lot of uptime, someone that doesn't want to do a lot of maintenance on their door, needs to operate it a lot. We see that 300,000 cycle being a little bit, it'll be enough for the applications that a lot of folks need at a nice price point. We think that'll really open up the high cycle option for a lot of folks that maybe couldn't afford the 10-4. Still have some really good uses in there on the 10-4 though. So definitely use that guide of what the similarities and differences are as you're going through and seeing what might fit the application. As I said, we're going to get into a little bit of competitive comparisons in the market. We're looking at a service curtain with like a 10-by-10 door here. You can see the 300 series door is the most cost-effective in the market at the moment for that higher cycle, the 50 or the 100K. Obviously not quite as robust, but it comes in at a nice price point there. And then and there's no maintenance required on both the 300 series or the 10-4 outside of those daily checks. And then we have the insulated curtain. Again, really competitive in the market. We think it's going to be really great as you go to market. We think it'll be a really good option to sell, and we're really excited about the ability to do that when you look at the competition that's out there, particularly with the Thermizer Max package with the insulated. We're excited about that. So a couple of things, you guys are out there every day. We know you know how to sell doors, but just a couple of things to keep in mind from us to help you sell as you go out into the market. So key selling points, it's that sweet spot of cycles. That's what I always like to think about it. It's the right amount of cycles at the right price. Has that springless construction. Springs are springs, and eventually they will have to be replaced. So this springless design is really a nice feature. Those 300,000 maintenance-free cycles, 3 times faster than a standard rolling door. That speed is definitely something that I saw firsthand. We actually have a 300 insulated door next to a standard insulated door at one of our buildings, and we were actually able to operate the 300 door open and close before the standard door opened. So it definitely can. That was something that was eye-opening for me, and I think you'll see that as well. Continuous duty. We talked about the activation systems, the pricing is a nice feature there. And that installation ease and the lower cost of installation we really see as something that will be attractive. The benefits, that intelligence we've been talking about quite a bit, the communication to the user, reducing opportunity for errors, walking through that commissioning, as I said, so easy a marketing person could do it. Definitely something that I think is going to be really attractive out there, just communicating what's going on and seeing what's happening with the door. So productivity, this is really where you can hit the activation device placement as well as the speed. So to reduce the wait time to go through the door, those two things together really is an equation for success. And we think that positioning it in that way, I think, will really turn a lot of heads. Energy savings, this one I'm really excited about. So a lot of folks, when you're talking about high-speed doors, you'll talk about air exchange, right? So the door is open for a less amount of time, meaning that the air doesn't go back and forth through that amount of time. But if you have a door, as most of these are for security and things like that, that are typically in the closed position, the Thermizer Max actually reduces air leakage even in the closed position. It really seals up that perimeter, and it gets down to that 0.3 CFM, sealing that building envelope that a lot of folks are talking about, particularly in the north in the winter and some of the California and states like that. So definitely something that we're excited about. You're saving energy not only because the door opens quickly, but also because it's sealed when it's closed. Security, we have that steel door security. It's proven, people are comfortable with that, but you have that faster speed when you need to get in and out of an opening more quickly. So upgraded protection there without compromising on that security that folks need. And then reliability, that no significant maintenance outside of those daily checks, minimizing that downtime as much as possible. This door has been proven to cycle for 300,000 times and even beyond in our test units. We're kind of waiting to see the point of failure there, so we're really excited about that. We know this is a reliable door, and it really will be work well for tough high cycle applications. And then finally, just wanted to run down a couple of support materials. Some things are out now and some things will be released in the coming weeks. So we've got our feature sheet, that sell sheet. It's available on the Dealer Resource Center as well as in the technical details section of the website. We have a technical sheet for the door as well as the operator to give you a little bit more information on that. We have RFIs available on the Dealer Resource Center, so you can go check them out. And specifications both on the Dealer Resource Center and the website. Installation instructions and manuals and things like that, they're all available. A couple of things that we're coming out with are online BIM objects. And then we'll have a couple of videos to support installation as well as to kind of help you sell, a little bit of a benefits video that we've got going on there. You did see the testimonial videos that we had from the folks that were in the in this test phase of this project, and they've been very happy with the results so far. So you'll be seeing that kind of pop up here and there. So that's what we have for this overview of the door. I have Siva Davalari with us. He's the segment director here. He's been integral in getting this product concepted and come to execution here. And he's available, as well as myself, to answer any questions that you may have at this time. Ask that you just type them into the questions box, and we'll give you a minute because I know it takes a little bit of time to type it in, and then we'll start answering some questions. Okay, we have our first question here. Does the plug and play with the Apex Smart Controller eliminate the need for any type of electrician or anything like that?
This is Siva. We still expect outside high voltage power to be landed somewhere closer to the panel with either a breaker or some arrangement. But the plug and play is primarily for low voltage and safety devices, which is where we saw more of the complexity in installation with the VFD operators. And so we think with the plug and play that increased complexity of installing a VFD-based panel is taken care of, but we still need an electrician to bring to land power to the unit.
We have another question here in terms of gauges. What gauges are available on the service and insulated products?
So on service door, we have 22, 20, and 18 gauge for galvanized steel. For stainless, we'll have that in 22 gauge. For insulated, we have product available in 24, 24, 22, 24, 20, 24, and 18, 24 for galvanized steel. And stainless is available in 22, 22.
Okay, any other questions? You don't see anything else coming in? Just want to make sure that everybody gets their questions answered. If you have any questions or if you think of them after, it always happens to me, you can email us at marketing@cornellcookson.com and we can answer your question or direct you to the right person that can do that. Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it. I know it's a busy time of year, and we appreciate taking a half hour to learn about our new product. Again, any questions? Marketing@cornellcookson.com, and y'all have a great day.
Anything on